over 86% of you are not subscribed. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell and set it to all, because if you don't, you won't get notified for all of my videos. We're trying to hit 600 subscribers so we can move on to the next Pretty Kill Let's Play. So without further ado, let's try to make this happen. Gokugenyo everyone, the Starlight Let's Player is here, and welcome to the finale of 7 Pirates H. We have gathered all 7 of the secret treasures, we have defeated all of the ex-monster girls, and we have finally learned the past between Otan and the Booby King. So let's not waste any time and enter the Soaring Tower. This is the final dungeon of this game, and this is where we're going to be facing off against the Booby King and destroy him once and for all. So for this dungeon, this has to be the biggest dungeon of them all, and the reason why this is so big is because this goes up to 6 floors. You have 6 floors, so the first floor, each floor goes around in a circle, so you're basically going up the stairs all the way to the top of the Soaring Tower, and that's where we face off against the Booby King. Now, mind you, before we actually get to that, we have to face off against these black Booby King once again, but thankfully they're not much of a threat as they were last time when I first played this game before. So I can actually approve of that. I say it's a lot better, so I can appreciate that. But I think that's mainly due to making my characters a lot more stronger. But anyway, these black Booby King are pretty much the exact same as the last ones, except I did not have that much issue with it. So, you know, again, looking at these black Booby King, they're pretty much like the I guess they're ones to like represent like dark nipples or per se, because again, the top of the heads, they're pretty much shaped as nipples. You can't deny that. There's really no denying it. But yeah, once you get your characters that's really strong, they're really not much of a threat in my opinion. And you shouldn't really be like struggling with them, so it shouldn't be that hard for you to deal with. But yeah, the Soaring Tower, it goes up to 6 floors, and if you actually try to actually escape from this tower, like maybe using the escape potion just to try and get yourself stronger, you're gonna have to going through all 6 of those floors just to get all the way to the top. But thankfully, when you escape, you don't really have to worry about facing off against these monsters again, because they're only a one-time thing, so that's good. That's the same thing that I also enjoyed about when I was playing Neptunia and Second Kaga Ninja Wars, because I was really close to the final battle, and that's why I didn't realize I had to fight 2. They expected for me to fight 2 boss fights in a row in the final dungeon, because the first one pretty much had me drained. I wouldn't say drained, but I was really given a challenge there, because I was facing off against Yo Gamer. that's one of the villains' name. Like, that was pretty much of a secondary villain, but I faced off against her, and she was extremely powerful. It took a lot out of me in order to face off against her. Actually, I can't really compare this because I did defeat her once. I did defeated her. Actually, no, never mind, because I did get the game over on that point, because you know I did face off against Yo Gamer, and I came in pretty much with barely any potions, barely any healing items and stuff, just to like try and keep myself alive in order to defeat this final boss, because the final boss is even more challenging than Yo Gamer. So what I would suggest to doing when you're playing that game, one, just defeat Yo Gamer, and then save the game there, and then come back and try to buy more items and goes all the way back. Because thankfully, when you save there and when you decide to go all the way back to where you came, all the way back to where you started, then you don't have to worry about facing off against Yo Gamer again, because you already defeated her, and you'll only have to face off against the boss. So that's pretty much of a pro tip that I would expect for whenever you're playing this, whenever you want to play Ninja Wars. So that's a good tip I can give you whenever you're playing this game and whenever you're at the final boss. So yeah, I do think Ninja Wars is a pretty good game, in my opinion. It doesn't really, I don't think it would be worth 50 bucks, if I'm being honest. I don't think it was really worth 50 bucks, which is why I'm glad I got it on sale. I believe I got it on sale when I was like 30 bucks, I believe. I think it was probably around 30, almost to like 30 bucks. So yeah, get it on sale, and yeah, you'll be saving yourself a lot of trouble there. But anyway, folks, we defeated the Black Booby Kin, and we got a bunch of H extract and some gold as well. And by the way, I was also able to buy all the I was able to buy the panties, which was that I showed off in the last at the end of part 13, when we unlocked the ability to craft their own personal panties and bras. So that's pretty. So I was able to do that. Really, what you need for in order to craft those panties is that you'll need some cloudy fluid, which is pretty easy to get in certain dungeons to get. So yeah, but you need 4 cloudy fluid per panties. So I would recommend you do that. Now for this part, you're gonna be seeing a lot of cuts there. Basically the first cut, I pretty much cut off the part where I was wandering around this jewel. Now I'm wandering around as Parute, because I wanted to finish this game as Parute and only Parute. Not to mention, she is the main character of this game. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of cuts, mainly due to the fact that I want to face off against a bunch of these monsters just to try and like level myself up a bit more and to gain more gold. Because because as you progress through the game, the tougher the enemies are, the more H extracting gold you'll get from facing off against a bunch of enemies. And that's why I like using either Jewel or Pawn as my party. Once again, they can use certain skills that can attack the entire enemy party at once. So I think that was really great. But I would say the faster way to get gold, like more gold, is to complete the requests that are needed. Because you know, the bottom tiers, like the bottom quests, they give out even more gold. So I would recommend that a lot. Just try and complete all the quests, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, once again, there's going to be a lot of cuts here, mainly because I'm facing up against a bunch of enemies, and I didn't want this video to go on for like over 50 minutes. So that's why you've seen a lot of cuts with these fights. And you also seen a bunch of cuts with no transitions, and that's because, you know, there was some clipping to the video when I was recording this part, because there was a bunch of clipping. There would be times where the audio would cut off at some points, but thankfully the audio does not get out of sync with the video, so I can appreciate that. But yeah, there's gonna be a bit of more heavy editing into this one in particular. So now I'm on the 5th floor. Yeah. So again, there's 6 floors. So do keep in mind that this is the biggest dungeon of them all. It may seem small just because you're going around in a circle, but best believe this is actually the biggest one because you're going down a certain hallway. You're going down, like, not hallway, but you're going down a certain flight, certain amount of flights of stairs. Like, yeah. I do kind of wish they would actually have some type of flag or something, you know, that would maybe give us, let us speed things up, like maybe speed up our process. But I digress. And as you see in this chest, oh sorry, that's the not that chest, but as you see in that chest, that is Torn Map 1. Now that is extremely important because you'll need that chest because it will trigger it will give you a certain event to go through. So this will be the last time you will ever see Booby training in this playthrough, so yeah, I kept Parute at A cup because 1, she did not look right with the big breasts, but 2, as I mentioned before, you know, the smaller the breasts are, the bigger your defense and speed will get, and the bigger your breasts are, the higher your attack and health will get. So do keep that in mind. That you see why Rindo and Sakura, they have the bigger health bars. Not only that, but I've also gave them some life extract as well. Again, keep in mind, power extract can boost up the attack. The stamina extract can boost up the defense, and the speed extract can boost up the agility. The life extract can increase your health, so do keep those extracts in mind. And use those whenever you want. Use those on some of the characters that you hold dear to. You may have also noticed that I haven't really used much of the Opie extracts. These don't really increase all of your stats, but not only do they increase one certain stat, but depending on the level of Opie extract you use, it will determine how big your breast will get. So if you use the Opie extract 4, then your breast will increase even more. Like, they will get bigger. I would say from A cup to maybe G, maybe like F or G cup. I'm not sure. I've never really used the higher ones before, so yeah. You can also reset the extract. That's one thing that I forgot to mention. You can reset the extract so you can turn the breast back to the normal, the size that they were originally was. So I really do like that. So now that I got all my characters, now that I've completed the last Booby training, which you will see for this playthrough for good, and now that I've gotten all my characters, at full strength, that's where I'm gonna save it here before I get into the final fight. Because that's one thing you gotta make sure when it comes to these RPGs. You gotta make sure you save at the right time. Otherwise, you're gonna have to. Otherwise, when you get the game over, you're gonna have to go through a certain amount of progress all over again. And if you're going through a whole run without saving the game, you're gonna have to go through all of that all over again. So do be careful. Anyway, this is now the Booby Kin, and I gotta say, man. This man is definitely like he's nothing but an entire walking. He's pretty much walking flesh. That's what all I can say. Man, look at his face. Look at his face. He doesn't really look like the type to be an actual king. I mean, to be fair, he is a perverted king. Oh, he's pretty pissed about that. I can tell by his face, he is pissed by the fact that his Black Booby king has been defeated. Oh wait, if he knew about Parute, and if he knew that they defeated the Black Booby king, how? How did he know about Parute? Maybe the Black Booby king pretty much heard of them and decided to actually to tell him. I'm not sure. They never really explained how he knows about Parute and why he would actually want to go after Parute. No, really. All of the monster think about it. All of the boob energy that he's gained from basically from monster girls. He's never gained any booby energy from a human girl. So I'm pretty sure that's why he probably wants to obtain Parute's power, because it's pretty rare. God damn, Otan. Jeez. Yeah, you kind of deserve that. You did not have to mention her breast there. Still though, the goddamn shade towards porn and Riviera. Goddamn. Yeah, nice for you, you fat bastard. Elasticity. Oh, you have made Otan pissed. It seems to happen when they lose too much power. Just be happy I didn't kill. God damn. See, especially Parute. Yep, see, that's true. He's never had a human's booby power, so that's why he was interested in Parute. And Parute herself is a human girl.
パルテさんを狙うなんて悪魔の所業。やはりバイキングさんは悪魔のような方で素晴らしいわ。でもパルテさんにはこれからもお世話になる予定だから、それだけはさせないわ。
お前のせいで嫌なことをした。このイライラ晴らさせてもらうから。
まさか私たちが狙いだったとは。私としたことがつまらないことを言ったな。
私はこれ好きじゃないんだけど、元四天王の力と意地を見せてあげるよ。
俺は間違ってしまったお前を今度こそ倒すじ。そして今度こそ仲間を守るんだぜ。ここまで来れるほど育ったおっぱいの力を味わわせてもらうぞ。
Alright, so now we're facing up against the Booby King, the final boss of this whole game. And unlike all the other bosses where we have to, this one, unfortunately we don't have to use the Ultron Cannon, which is a bit disappointing considering the fact that he's the final boss. All the other characters, they got a chance for us to use the Ultron Cannon on them, yet we don't have to for this final boss. A bit disappointing, man. But yeah, I just had to stay quiet because I wanted to hear them get their final words. That's what I like about these video games. All of the protagonists in like the games, they will pretty much get their last words before facing off against the final boss. That's what I really like about these. That's what I really like about certain video games that does this. They always give their characters their final dialogue before facing off against the big bad and saving the world for good. That's what I really like. But yeah, the Booby King. There are times where he will use the Void Swirl on one character, and there are times where he will use certain attacks on all four. Like well, one that can pretty much poison the characters. There's even one which I find ridiculous. You know, so there's the Aqua Storm, the same attack that Jewel has. And the Booby King can also do counter attacks as well. This is the attack that I find ridiculous. Milky Fall. It's basically summoning a huge stream of milk on each character. And I'll tell you, that it's kind of appropriate considering that milk can also come from women's breasts, so that's kind of interesting. Now, if I have to mention, there are also going to be times where he will summon one or two of his minions. For that way, you'll have to, which will make. That's one thing that when he'll summon those enemies, you'll have to defeat them, which means you're probably spending more time trying to defeat them rather than trying to get rid of him. But thankfully, with if you have, like I said, when using either Jewel or Pawn as one of your for one of your teammates, when in this boss fight, they can basically just use one of the attacks in order to see right there, the H monster call. You'll summon one or two monsters on the battlefield, and you'll have to defeat them and then get back to the Booby King, the king. So yeah, this boss fight can take its time, because again, which will make sense considering this is the final boss, and they would expect for these final bosses to be more challenging. Unlike certain games like say Sonic Colors, Sonic Forces, Sonic Lost World, you know, games like those with some of the much easier fights to go through, like the easier final bosses. Again, if you played one or three of those games, then you'll understand how easy those boss fights is. Granted, Sonic Forces pretty much had 3 phases of the final boss. The first one you have to play as classic Sonic, and you have to try and go through these block platforms that can actually disappear at certain points. And while doing so, you have to knock back certain, like the boulders that he'll throw at. You knock them down, and then you get to the second phase where you play as your OC, and you have to like. and you have to attack either the arm or the core of the Death Egg robot. Yes,
いじめちゃおうっと。
yes, there's a Death Egg robot in that game. I don't know why, but
はいどうぞ。
yeah, you have to dodge. Yeah, you have to try and dodge those attacks while also attacking either the arm or the core. And if you're straight up home and attacking, that's pretty much going to do less damage. But if you use the flamethrower, then you can basically just end the fight real quickly. And then goes to the final phase. Now, the final phase, in my opinion, is the easier one out of the three.
はいどうぞ。
But yeah, back to the Booby King fight. There are moments. So, what I would recommend is that you face off against a bunch of monsters, which is why I did that. And you do that to try and build up as much MP as you can, but do your best try not to get them aroused, because that's the thing. When you get them aroused, if you accidentally get them aroused, then even when you use that attack and even when you defeat the actual fight, when you actually defeat the monsters, your MP will still go down to 0. So do be careful. You gotta make sure to keep your characters below 200. But with a character like Jewel, like someone who is a sniper, well, not really a sniper, but you know, basically a gunner. She has a shotgun, by the way. But for someone like her, she can basically just shoot the opponent, and it will kill. She can actually kill an enemy one shot, and then gain an extra shot on the other enemy, and then she can also throw another shot. So basically just throwing 3 shots. So she can basically kill 3 enemies in one turn. So that's pretty interesting, but you gotta be careful with that, because you're gonna run the risk of actually getting her aroused before saving all of that for the final fight, or for a certain boss fight. Either way. And yes, that black hole pretty much killed both Parute and Sakura. At that point, I did not know what to do, because I'm down to 2 characters now. But I decided I would use the Dragon Flare with the Rindo, and afterwards I would use a potion to actually fully heal Jewel, because you know, having just one character against this fight is gonna be a huge disadvantage. You gotta make sure you have your entire party with you, that way you'll still have a chance to fight this guy. You know, there's another thing that I kind of wish they would have. I kind of wish they would have the same system that Neptunia had. You know, where you would have 4 characters on the field and the other 4 as partners. So when your characters in the battlefield are like close to low health, you can switch to the other characters, and yeah, you can switch to the other characters. That way you can keep yourself in the fight much longer. So that's what I really like. But yeah, you can use the black hole or the void swirl, and there are times we can use the No. Yeah, there are times we can also use the Milky Fall, as I explained. And there you go, again with the monster call. At least he pretty much calls different monsters whenever it's his turn. So I can appreciate the variety. But still, when you see another monster, make sure you're using Jewel or Poron, and use Poron, however you say your name, and make sure you use either one of their skills as long as you have enough MP to use those skills. Use one of those because, again, as I mentioned before, they can attack more than one enemy at the same time. So this is very helpful, especially when facing off against the Booby King. And mind you, I did not get a game over when facing off against this prick. As I said before, I only had 1 game over, and that was against the Black Booby King. The first set of Black Booby King, by the way.
無駄だ。もんでやろう。行くぞ。
行くわ。
Either way, we're this close to defeating this goddamn king. We only have king, and I'm gonna defeat him using Parute because, you know, well, Booby King, as the Booby King said, he is interested in Parute because he has never absorbed human booby power before, and he wants to try it out before, and he wants to try it out for the first time with Parute. So yeah, if all of your characters are sick, use the B refresh. That will get rid of all the effects on your characters, whether your characters are poisoned or sick or stunned with paralysis, which makes them unable to get their turn. And there he goes with the monster call again. Again, I just appreciate the variety he's going with. The diversity. By the way, if you're low on MP, I would also recommend you use the Almighty Potions, and if you have any arousal boosters as well. Not the Almighty Potions, but the Love Potions. The Love Potions can give you 30 extra MP, but the arousal booster can give you a whopping 100 MP. So, do keep that in mind. If you have those arousal boosters, save them for the final fight. You save them for the final fight, and I'm sure they'll be very, very useful, especially when you're trying to, use their ultimate skills. So now I got Sakura at 200%, but look at that. So I'm gonna use a Love Potion on Parute, and that's gonna get her at 200%. And I would have used this skill on Sakura to finish it, but again, like I said, I want to finish this off using Parute. So I'm gonna use the Crimson Slash just to damage him a bit more, giving Parute the chance to use her Falcon Dive to defeat the Booby King. I keep calling him. To defeat the Booby King once and for all. So that's it. The Booby King is defeated. The 7 pirates have defeated the Booby King. Finally, this is now the end of 7 Pirates H. Whew. Oh my god, the innuendos. Goddamn, next time I'll grow even bigger and harder. Oh my god, the innuendos. Oh Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure that can be taken out of context there. Oh, he definitely went. I mean, you defeated him even without his help, so...
塔に入ってから考えていた作戦があるから任せるんだじ。ここならあれが使える。この塔を大砲
The
代わ
fuck?
り
As
に
a
して
giant cannon.
俺がパイキングを仕留め損ねた必殺技。天かけるオッタ
The
ン
oh, this time the soaring Otan cannon instead of the original Otan cannon. He's gonna use the soaring Otan cannon.
渡せなくなったんだじ。
さっきから何言ってんのよ。あんたはそれやったら秘宝ごと飛んでっちゃうでしょ。
これは俺が始めた戦いだじ。昔終わらせられ
He's not wrong there. Oh, he's not wrong there, Parute. Otan did started this fight, and he has to be the one to finish
み
it.
んなの力を借りて終わらせるじ。だから秘宝の約束は果たせないんだじ。
約束はそれだけじゃないでしょ。秘宝なんてまた集めるからいい。利子付きであんたに貸してあげる。私を伝説の海賊にするって約束まで破る気なの。あんたも一緒に誓ったでしょ。
すまない。お前なら、お前たちなら。俺なんか
So you're telling me Otan is gonna sacrifice himself here?
ふざけんな。何勝手に決めてんの。あんた秘宝持ち逃げする気でしょ。
本当にすまないんだじ。俺はきっと帰ってこれない。だが、この木を逃す
So he really is sacrificing himself here.
みんな、さよならだじ。
海賊から私から宝を奪って逃げられると思うな。
パルテさん、オットンちゃんを信じてあげて。本当に危険そうだから早く逃げましょう。
空の彼方でも地の底でも逃がさない。絶対奪い返すから覚悟しなさいよ。このド変態が。
最大の褒め言葉だじ。ハイキング、道は違えどお前は同じ夢を抱いた真の友だった。だからお前の道は俺が立つ。
Otan is really putting the brakes on the Booby King. Excuse me.
最後はやはりオットンが立ちはだかるか。我が同行の死にしてライバルのお前に倒されるなら本望だ。俺の新たな仲間の力を思い知ったかを。これ
The
が
power of boobies.
海賊団の
By the power of titties.
おっと、お前が羨ましかった。お前のようにモンムスの仲間たちと旅をしてみたかった。
終わったの。おっとんちゃん。私の
Poor Sakura. She really missed Otan a lot.
感傷に浸ってる暇はなさそうだよ。塔が崩れるから離れないと。みんな逃げるぞ。
こっちだ。私についてこい。
Okay, that scares me. That's a bad idea.
崩れる中、リンドのあんな
She's not on the same level as Zoro, but that is still a bad idea to let Rindo lead.
何よ。秘宝は失うし、枯れ木は落ちてくるし、もう最悪。よかったのなんて変態がいなくなったことだけじゃん。
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
もうぼーっとしてないで。ご主人
But yes, the Booby King is defeated. Otan has sacrificed himself for it.
何か勘違いがあると思いますが、王は海賊に
And now the Booby King are talking.
この海ばかりの申し引かいで船を作るようにし、モンムス相手に商売を成功させたんですよ。海賊もモンムスも助かってウィンウィンの関係ってやつですよ。いや待って待って、王の そりゃもちろん王も話していたでしょ。それはそうだけど、じゃあなんで話さなかったのよ。その方が可愛いからですよ。パイ族への警戒心のなさからのパイチラの王
Allowing them to sneak peek at titties. Oh my god. They are definitely significant perverts. At least they're not massive ones that would basically just try to grope them or anything like that. That'd be sexual assault. That'd be sexual harassment. Just like certain perverts like Master Roshi, Taposai from Rama 1/2. I'm not sure if any of you even like heard of Rama 1/2, but hey.
あんたらは間違いなくあの王と同じ一族よ。王が亡くなったのは残念ですが、自分の欲望のままに生き、モンムスに倒されたんなら仕方ないですよ。恨まれてないようでよかったよ。襲われたら面倒だなって思ってたし。命令とはいえ世話になったパルテさんに船を止めて意地悪して申し訳ないと思ってます。お詫びに外の世界まで送りますよ。それは助かるよ。ありがとう。ま、これからはモンスピ界だけでなく、外の世界のモンムスを相手に商売させてもらいますから、気にしないでください。いろいろあったけど、なんとか帰ることはできそうね。私は外の海に帰って海賊を続けるんだけど、みんなはこれからどうするの
？Okay, that was 7 Pirates H. Now, this is probably the part where I give my final thoughts on the game, like how many other commentators, how many Let's Players do these things, where you know, they will talk about their thoughts during the end credits. So I'm gonna do the same. I would say 7 Pirates H. This was an enjoyable game to play. I really do like it a lot. As I said before in part 1 of my Hyperdimension Neptunia review, that I don't really mess with RPGs like that. I'm only interested in the Neptunia RPGs. But I did say that I would give this one a try, and that's mainly one of the main reasons is probably due to the fan service as well. But when I played through this game, it wasn't really the fan service. It wasn't just the fan service that I enjoyed. The story was very entertaining. I do love the combat, like the battle system in this game. Instead of having to walk around, they just give you the options. You either attack, use an item, or you know, just basically use a skill or run, or defend yourself. Either one of these, they just give you the options instead of actually trying to walk to the opponent. So I really do like that. But yeah, I really do like this game a lot, and the music is so amazing. I am heavily surprised and disappointed that this soundtrack is not uploaded on YouTube. Like, people did purchase the digital. People did purchase the They did purchase the special edition. So I don't see how this game. I don't see how they didn't even like bother to upload the entire soundtrack. Maybe it's due to copyright. I'm not sure, but still, 7 Pirates H, really a fun game. I would recommend you get this game a lot. It's $40, I believe. So, hey, it's not that big of a price. But yeah, 7 Pirates H was amazing.
あの日もこんな晴れ渡った空で今まで生きてきた中で一番の衝撃。
And there's a final cutscene for the story. You know, Parute telling her adventure story on how she got on this whole adventure to her, you know, to all the sailors out there, to all the sailors in her village. So I do like that.
信じてくれないかな。手に入れた宝や仲間たちがいれば信じたんだけどね。秘宝は王を倒した時に飛んでっちゃったし、仲間はその海でやり残したことがあるからって残っちゃったんだよ。私たちが王を倒しちゃったからね。王を亡くした一族とか他のモンムスたちとかいろいろ気になったみたい。それって平和になってないよね。 アルテが王を倒したせいで混乱してるんじゃないの？そういう見方もあるかな。でも安心してよ。必ずみんなで集まってもう一度海賊をするって再会の約束をしたんだから。なんで一緒に残らなかったの？そりゃ飛んでった宝を探さないといけないでしょ。みんながやり残したことをしてる間に私が見つけるよ。それで再会を果たしてみんなでまた海賊として冒険するんだから。
So, that was the last cutscene of Seven Pirates H. What an entertaining ride to go through. You know, I do kind of wish they would have. Actually, you know, do more justice to the cutscenes though. That's a little criticism I have to say. And I forgot to mention that the song that you probably heard in the background while I was talking, that was Brand New World by the singer Machiko, and she also did the opening theme of this game. So yeah. If you want to hear more of her, I really much recommend you would actually watch the Pretty Cure series if you want to hear more of her music, especially considering that she pretty much debuted in Kira Kira. But yeah, that was Seven Pirates H. We still got one last video to go through, so and yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this playthrough. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, we got one last video to show off, but until then, this is the Starlight Let's Player signing out. As always, Goki Genyo, and have a startastic day, everyone.
I knew I would fulfill my dream, yeah. They knew I started from the bottom, now I made it, yeah. The possibilities are endless, yeah, I say, yeah. I got the rules and I got everything I need, yeah. And now I'm chilling with a pretty gentle lady, yeah. She got a kind of gentle personality, yeah. She got them curvy hips and a booty for booty.